Alright, let's talk about browsing the web. I'll start by saying there's an entire industry of scammers, fraudsters, and hackers working full time to steal and ruin as much stuff as they can. So to counter that, we've pulled together 10 tips to follow that'll keep you safe while you browse the web. First up, you want to use HTTPS over HTTP sites wherever you can. You can see which of these you're on by looking at the website address in the search bar at the top of the screen. It'll say one or the other at the start of the address, followed by a colon and 2 forward slashes. Sometimes your browser will replace this with a padlock though. So if you see the padlock, it means you're using HTTPS, which is the more secure version. Next up, use a VPN. It comes with 3 main benefits, and the first is encryption. It'll replace your data with code between your device and the device that you're communicating with. It then creates a tunnel for the data to flow through without being retrievable by any other devices or networks as it passes through. And lastly, it swaps your address with another so that your data can't be traced back to you and no one can work out the route. Next, we've got private browsing. So everywhere you go online, you leave a digital footprint. That's made up of your cookies, history, and downloads. But private browsing will help to hide this. It's not completely effective, but it'll hide your actions from other users on the same device. Then we've got online antivirus. This is the most effective way to keep yourself safe online. It's like having a virtual bodyguard who knows thousands of known malicious sites and hears about new ones as they're detected. It'll warn you before you enter an untrusted site or download something with potential to harm your PC. As a bonus, most antivirus providers include adware protection that will save you from watching some ads. Sadly though, this one costs. You should also be carefully reading the URL before you enter any site. Lots of attacks have been from users entering a variation of the site which has been misspelled or altered slightly just to trick them. If you're ever unable to see the URL, you'll be able to see it by hovering over the site or the hyperlink with your mouse. You'll either see a text box pop up where your mouse is, or it'll pop up in the bottom left of your browser. There's some examples of variations on the screen here, so if you want, you can pause the video and spot what's wrong with each address. It's also possible to verify the website certificate by clicking on the padlock in the search bar, then selecting certificate. This will display the details of the site certificate and whether it is expired or not. If you're ever unsure about a site or link, then you can always search for reviews or articles or just more general info online. There's some suggestions on the screen to help you validate its integrity, but it still comes down to your judgment in the end. Next is think about trust. You should already be asking yourself if you can trust each person who you communicate with online, whether it be to click a link or to give them your details. But you should also be asking who's using their account. It could be someone else, or someone could have made another account in their name and copied their details over. So the best practice for this is to verify a user's account in conversation with them and be wary of communications from them on platforms which they don't usually reach you on. For example, if you have them as a friend on social media and then all of a sudden they send you an email, you should definitely be suspicious. More often than not, when you search for something in your browser, the first few results are going to be adverts. These are usually safe, but recently scammers, fraudsters, and general attackers have been using these ads to promote their own sites which have malicious content and are basically going to hurt you or your PC. And the last thing that we're going to talk about is hyperlinks. The best advice that I can give you here is that if someone sends you a link, only click on it if you're absolutely sure that that is not a malicious link. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something and I hope you feel safer while you're browsing the web.